In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a successful dropshipping business on Etsy so that you can see sales figures similar to these. And I'm going to simplify it down into 7 basic steps to outline everything that you need to know, right from finding a winning niche to integrating with Etsy to fully automating your Etsy store. So if there's anything that you don't know about the process that's holding you back from starting, then this basic 7-step guide will hopefully show you that it's actually pretty easy to do. So let's not waste any time and get straight into the first step of your own Etsy dropshipping success story. And before you do anything, you need to find a high search, low competition niche. This is by far the most important step of the whole process. And it's the one that everybody struggles with, including myself. Because if you don't have a niche that you can actually compete in, then your chances of success are just going to be crushed right from day one. But luckily in 2023, we have plenty of online tools that can help us out with this. So this is where I recommend to hop on a tool like Everbee. And this has literally changed the game for us Etsy sellers now. So here you can literally type in the product you're thinking of selling, and you can see the price ranges, monthly sales, and also monthly revenue of the product you can expect to see on Etsy. So basically here, you just want to make sure that you're happy with the potential sales figures that your product and idea can achieve on Etsy. So then once you found a product that you know actually makes sales, now it's time to check the competition for that product. So again, this is a massive reason why these research apps like Everbee are so important, because you can see the sales figures and you can compare that directly to the competition. So these are literally the 2 key things that you need for a successful niche. And I mean, there's plenty of tools online that you can use that do similar things, but whatever you do, just make sure that you use at least one of them to help you with your research. So I've just recommended Everbee because it's the one that I personally use, and I'm really happy to say that they've sponsored today's video. So if you want to use the exact same tools that I use for my product research, then there's a link in the video description to sign up for Everbee. And of course, if you use the link, it helped me out a little bit, but even if you don't, just make sure that you're using one of the research tools available online, because honestly, it's so important. Just make sure that you use something to help with your research. So moving on to step 2 then, and once you know the product that you want to sell, then you've actually got to find a supplier for that product. So for this one, you can literally head to any website that has dropshipping suppliers, but of course, the most popular one that you've heard before is going to be Aliexpress. So here you can search for the exact products that you want to sell, and there's going to be 2 things I want you to look at that, in my opinion, are non-negotiable. Firstly, I want you to find a reliable supplier with a star rating of 4.7 or above. Secondly, I want you to focus on only selling products that have delivery timescales of 11 days or less. So anything over this is just going to end up in complaints. I absolutely guarantee it. And then just as another little bonus tip, I want you to pay attention to the packaging that your product comes in. And even if the packaging isn't displayed on the images, I want you to message the seller and actually ask them directly what packaging they're putting the product in. Because when you're drop shipping products and packaging is out of your control, bad packaging from the supplier can absolutely kill your business right from the start. So yeah, just really make sure that it's to a reasonable standard at a bare minimum. And to be honest, some suppliers, if you drop them a message and ask for them to actually do some custom packaging, a lot of them, for a little bit of an extra price, are more than happy to do so. And I mean, we all know how important packaging is, especially in 2023. So I'd really make sure that the packaging is as good as it possibly can be. But yeah, just in general, you want to make sure your product's of good quality, it ships fast or as fast as possible, and you want to make sure that the packaging's okay or to a reasonable standard. And you also want to really talk with the supplier to make sure that you're on the same page about what you can both expect. So moving on to step 3 now, and this is to open a website. Alright, so don't panic for this one. Like, I know so many people panic as soon as you say you've got to create a website, but trust me, you don't actually have to create a website. So essentially, you just need access to a website hosting platform, something that you can put your products onto, that you can also download apps to integrate both with your supplier and Etsy. So that's all you're going to be using the website hosting platform for. I mean, again, you can use any website provider for this, but just my personal recommendation, the one that I've always used, would be Shopify. And now I'm not going to do a whole Shopify website breakdown in this video because it's only supposed to just outline the basic steps. But if you're struggling to make a seller account on Shopify, then I'll leave a link in the video description to a forum that outlines all of the basic steps that you can really simply follow along to. But yeah, essentially, you just want to progress to the step where you've got a Shopify account open. And I don't want you to worry about actually designing a pretty website or live hosting your website on Google or anything. You don't need to do any of that. Because remember, the only thing you're going to use Shopify for is for your products and for integration apps. That's it, okay? So moving on to step 4 now, and this is to integrate with your third-party seller and load your products onto Shopify. So essentially, now we want to get the products from our reliable supplier loaded onto our Shopify sellers account. So remember, these are the products that we found in step 1. And now this is exactly why I recommend to use Shopify, because there's just so many apps on the Shopify App Store that seamlessly integrate with both Aliexpress and Etsy. So essentially in Shopify, you just want to head over to the App Store and simply type in, you guessed it, dropshipping. Here, you'll find loads of apps, but a great one that I've personally used that I can recommend is one called DSers. Essentially, they all do pretty much the same thing though. So then you just go into this app and load the products that you want to sell from AliExpress. And then the app will post them directly to your Shopify store. So this app's great and it's so clever because when you get an order coming in, it's going to automatically take the customer's postal address and the product that they're ordering and send this information directly to the supplier and buy the product for you, shipping to the customer's address. So this is where it really turns into drop shipping. Okay, so now you've got your winning products linked to your website hosting platform. Now, of course, to sell on Etsy, you need to open an Etsy shop. Right, so your Etsy shop is a place where your customers are actually going to be buying your products from. So it's very important to make sure that your Etsy shop is set up right. And you need it set up right because you have to give your customers a reason to trust a brand new Etsy shop with no sales history and no reviews over all of the existing competitors that you're going to be competing against. And this is especially important when you're dropshipping. So again, I'm not going to show you exactly how to open an Etsy shop in this video because it would just be hours long, but I'm going to leave a link to my tutorial of opening an Etsy shop in the top right corner of this video. It only takes 30 minutes and you can follow along every single step by step. But if you don't want to follow along with that tutorial, then because I'm such a nice guy, I'll give you some quick tips about opening your Etsy shop right now. So number 1, I want you to focus on completing all of the proper info in your shop, like your shop banner, the About Us section, and really just try and tell a story about your shop to help build that trust with the customers. And then secondly, I want you to pay extra attention to the thumbnail images of the products that you're going to be uploading to your Etsy shop. So thumbnail images on Etsy are, in my opinion, of number 1 importance. Thirdly, I want you to make sure that when setting up your Etsy shop, your bank country and your shop country both match up. Because if these don't match, as soon as you make your first sale, Etsy are going to clock onto this, they're going to see a mismatch, and then you run the risk of your account just being suspended. So I've heard this story from a lot of my subscribers that I chat to. But yeah, then once your Etsy shop is set up perfectly, it's time to integrate your Etsy shop with your website hosting platform. So just like when we use an app to integrate our products to Shopify, we're now going to use a separate app to integrate our Etsy shop with Shopify. So again, for this, you just want to head over to the Shopify App Store and type in, you guessed it, Etsy. So this is just going to throw up loads of Etsy integration apps. But the best app I recommend to use is one called Etsy Integration and Sync. So I actually use this app currently, and although I personally don't drop ship my products anymore, of course, because I sell from a website as well as Etsy, this app's just perfect to integrate all of my products and sales all in one place. But again, there's loads of Etsy integration apps on the App Store, so just have a play with a few different ones, and of course, just use the one that you're comfortable using. So essentially with this app though, when it's installed on your Shopify account, it's gonna pull all the products that you have that you remember we've added from AliExpress previously. Then you can also easily link your Etsy account to the app, and this is where the magic happens. Here you can upload products directly from your Shopify site to your Etsy site. So this is what creates a link all the way from your AliExpress product to your Shopify account to your Etsy seller's account. So essentially, when you get an order from Etsy, your Etsy integration app is going to send the product and the customer details to Shopify. Then the app that links Shopify to your supplier is going to send that customer's details and the product order directly to the supplier, and it's then going to automatically purchase the product from the supplier and send it straight to the customer's address. So I mean, it's pretty clever how it all works, right? And I mean, this is just another reason why I'm so happy to be alive in 2023, because there's just so many clever things happening and there's so many opportunities for us to make money online. But anyway, once you've got everything linked up together through these integration apps in the back end, you then want to make sure that you can actually sell your products on the front end of Etsy. So here's where I'm going to give you some real amazing bonus tips to help get your products to sell on Etsy. So firstly, if possible, I'd advise to actually order the products yourself from the supplier and then take your own product images. So I mean, you can use the product supplier images, that's absolutely fine. However, I just want to make sure you're aware, if you do this, there is a risk that somebody may notice this and report you on Etsy. So then your products could be taken down and your account could be suspended. If possible, I always recommend just order the product in, take your own product images. Secondly, this is really important. Make sure the delivery timescales that you put on your Etsy shop are realistic for what your supplier can actually deliver in. Thirdly, especially at the start, this is crucial. You need to make sure that all of your listings are perfectly optimized for search engine optimization or SEO. And if you don't know how to do this, then again, you're in luck, because I've made a full guide on exactly how to make your products stand out perfectly and get matched for SEO. And I'll leave a link to that guide in the top right hand corner of this video. So again, feel free to check it out if you wish. But yeah, this is just my quick 7-step overview of exactly how Etsy dropshipping works. And if any of you want to see a full course where I open my own Etsy dropshipping store right from the start, I mean, it's probably going to be like a 2-hour long video, but just let me know and I'll be more than happy to put the time in and make that for you guys. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and remember, if you want to support me and my small channel, then check out Everbee. It's linked in the video description. It helped me a great deal, but again, totally up to you. No worries if not. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.